Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Wrestling with Anime. I'm Paul.
And I'm Justin.
So this time you had to watch Chikarasaurus Rex, How to Hatch a Dinosaur.
Yes, and you watched Full Metal Alchemist 2003.
Yeah, the first 4 episodes.
Yep.
So we're going to start off with Chikarasaurus Rex, How to Hatch a Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. It's a stupid name, but
It's a brilliant name. So I'm going to just get a few things out of the way first. This event originally took place June 2nd, 2012 in front of 705 people in the Trocadero Theater in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
so a pretty small venue, of course, and whatnot.
I mean, it's indie wrestling, so
Yeah.
700 people is a pretty good crowd.
For indie, yeah.
Yeah. So, Justin...
I just still don't know how to hatch a dinosaur.
Fair enough. Why don't you tell us about the first match, which is Ultramantis Black against Ophidian?
Strike first, strike fast, strike hard. The battle cry that leads us to victory. Yes.
So what did you think of this?
I don't know.
You mean stupidly good?
I don't know. I just had to laugh at the costume designs on this for some reason. I mean, it looks like they were about to, LARP in the ring or something. I don't know. I mean, he looked like he could be, a wizard or some kind of,
Who?
I don't know if it was Ultramantis or...
Was it the dude with the staff? Or
the dude with the staff.
Yeah, that's Ultramantis Black.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That was like a wizard almost.
I can kind of see that. But he has that awesome mask.
Yeah.
Actually, they both have awesome masks.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what happened in this match.
Ophidian likes to do some drop downs from the top rail with his knees or whatever onto Ultramantis.
Yeah, he does this
But he doesn't really do any successful pins with that. Instead, he ends up kind of getting pinned himself in the end.
Yeah, so Ultramantis Black goes over after it's some kind of modified pile driver. I don't know exactly what the move is.
I don't know. But I like how Ophidian was trying to grab Ultramantis' staff to use, and the ref was all no.
Okay, so do you remember what was on the line in this match?
On the line?
Because there was a stipulation.
I don't really remember too well, but I know that Ophidian just kind of had something against,
Yeah, okay. So this match, on the line, was the right to be known as the most devious man in Chikara.
Alright. That's not saying much, I guess.
It's fun! It's a Saturday morning cartoon in a wrestling ring.
Basically.
So next up is the throwbacks, Dasher Hatfield and Mark Angelicetti against Team... This might take me a minute. Team Tap Out Back Steakhouse.
Oh, is that what they called them?
Yeah, Archibald Peck and Colt Cabana.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I didn't see if they had a name because it's just said Colt Cabana and Archibald Peck.
Yeah, they only mention it on commentary.
Okay.
Once, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have caught it with that.
So what did you think of the throwbacks?
We don't lose, you know why? We're doing very well. We're doing very well. Exactly. Why don't we lose? Why don't we lose? Because teamwork. Mark Angelicetti is here. Teamwork. Mr. Touchdown is here, and Mr. Touchdown is good.
So, okay. Explain the dynamic between Mark Angelicetti and Dasher Hatfield.
I don't know. What?
Okay, so the whole idea is Dasher Hatfield is meant to be this 1800s baseball player guy with an awesome mustache.
It's quite the mustache. But quite the fake mustache indeed.
And Mark Angelicetti is kind of this brash, kind of dickhead dude who's teaming up with him. And they have 2 points, so if they win this match, they'll get 3 points and a shot at the tag titles. So why don't you tell us about Archibald Peck? Or as he begins the match, mixed... mixed martial Archie.
Basically, I wanted to judge, like, who would win based on, like... I don't know what I was basing it off of. Probably due to the giant hat that was shown at the start, like, on the flash screen. I'm like, he should win. Just because of the stupid
he has a hat.
Because he has a stupid hat. And when they came out at first, they didn't have the stupid hat, and I'm like, oh, well... But, like, apparently after he was, like, knocked out and dragged off for, like, half the match, and when he came back, he had the hat, it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, he had a bit of a gimmick change mid-match.
Yeah.
He reverted to his normal character.
I'm like, good.
What do you think of Colt Cabana?
He has his own theme song.
Yes, he does.
I'm like, okay, that's a thing. I don't know. I don't really have too much of an opinion of Colt Cabana. I mean, he got his ass handed in all alone when Peck was out of the ring for a while, I guess.
Yep. So what did you think of this match?
It was okay. I guess it was kind of entertaining. What was this? I had something on Cabana when he did a fancy backflip from the rail, landing a hit knockdown from both opponents, and follows up by doing his boom boom attack. I don't know what that's referring to, but
it's probably where he does the punches.
Oh yeah, the punches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they got from the commentary, so I'm like, boom boom attack. That's a thing. Boom 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 boom.
Okay, let's move on to the next match.
We want sugar, though.
And continuing right on.
Yes,
next up was Gran Akuma against Icarus in a ladder match. So, what did you think of these two guys? Also, this was, I believe, only the second ladder match in Chikara history. And it got some pretty good chants.
Oh, yes. There were really good chants in this episode. Please be careful. Please be careful.
It's so good.
Oh, I like the quotes in this segment. I don't really care much of what's going on this one, but the quote I got was like, "I'm going to start a company that makes ladders just for the purpose of wrestling matches, and then I'm going to trademark the word yes so I could get rich."
There's some great commentary in this.
There was an interesting commentary. But, I like the start of the match, where, the guy had the ladder and he just ran straight into it. Just kind of a dumb idea.
Okay, one of Icarus's moves. I don't know if you caught this, but it's called the Blu-ray. Do you know why?
No.
Okay, it's a really bad joke.
I'm imagining.
So, the movie he does is normally called a Death Valley Driver, or DVD. But Blu-ray is better than DVD. Like I said, it's a dumb joke, but it's good.
Oh my god.
So Gran Akuma wins, and he gets his contract so he can be in Chikara again.
Alrighty.
Okay, the next match was Sarah Del Rey and Saturine against the Batiri.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Batiri?
The Batiri were,
They're the dudes with the green face paint.
Yeah, I know. They're basically the ones that are just there for, I don't know, they have this grudge against this, Sarah Del Rey or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why they're ganging up on them.
Yeah. You don't really get a whole lot of explanation on this, but it is a fun match.
It's okay. I didn't really have anything too memorable in this one.
That's fair. The interesting thing...
But I was kind of confused as to why the crowd just randomly starts chanting USA.
I
I don't
know.
understand Americans. I apologize.
You don't understand wrestling crowds.
That
and that's
too.
okay.
That too. I don't understand wrestling crowds.
Because wrestling crowds have chanted some weird shit over the years.
There's weird shit in this. Anyway.
So, the one interesting thing about this match is Sarah Del Rey, no longer an active wrestler, but has arguably taken up a more important role in the industry.
Oh, alright. Cool.
She is currently the head trainer for the female side of WWE's Performance Center. So she's trained or helped train pretty much every woman that's come to the main roster in the last couple of years.
Alrighty.
Which is probably why that women's wrestling has gotten a lot better in WWE. Because she's pretty bloody good.
Yeah. I mean, it was nicely choreographed in some instances. Like, it looked like it was obviously staged, but I mean, it looked nice, I guess. I mean, I guess that's the whole point, to entertain.
Yeah, of course. The idea is you're not meant to actually hurt people, but you're supposed to make it look like you are.
Yeah, exactly. And I also noted, like, the Batiri came out throwing rolls of toilet paper.
Yes, okay.
When it
So,
started.
a couple of times prior to this, you had seen fans throw streamers in.
Yeah.
Do you know why they do that?
No.
Do you have any guesses? Or where that might come from?
Nope. I don't.
No idea. Okay. So, the streamers thing, to my knowledge, comes from Japan,
Okay.
where crowds would throw in streamers as a sign of respect. So it's one of those things that's kind of come over to the North America. That's done in the indie scene, but like the major companies don't kind of allow that.
I see. Fair enough.
Next up was Hollow Wicked against Tim Donst.
This match. This was interesting, I'll have to say that.
What did you think of Hollow Wicked?
He was one I was rooting for this match, obviously.
He also has a
reasons.
great mask.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
just
like
a
the
great
mask.
look.
I really like the mask. And Tim Donst is like, this is the asshole I want to see beat up.
Okay, so this was mask versus hair.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes. So, do you understand? Like, okay, so you probably won't understand the significance of masks in wrestling.
Basically, if a mask is taken off, their face is exposed, and that means that they're exposed and disqualified, something like that.
Okay, so in Chikara, they have a rule that if you rip somebody's mask off, you're automatically disqualified. But, like, in Mexican wrestling, masks are, like, a really big thing.
Yeah, like a luchador or whatever.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And, like, losing your mask can, like, destroy your career.
Yes.
So when they do, like, especially in Mexico, when you do a mask versus mask match, it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
And then hair matches are just kind of this thing that we do in North America that are more of, like, a comedy stipulation. Because somebody's going to get shaved.
Indeed. But, like, with this match in particular, that ref did a really slow countdown at one point.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the ref. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah, at some points, I think they knocked out the ref in this one.
Oh, I think there's a ref bump in this, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of that. But, like, yeah. There was Tim Donst pulled out, like a shoelace or whatever.
Oh, yeah, he has, like, a string or something.
Yeah, basically, trying to end the match that way and then being caught. I guess that's also part of the act and stuff, but still. It was nice to see that turn around quickly to have Hollow Wicked win and start shaving Tim Donst's head.
Yeah. Yep.
Tim Donst was not meant to fly.
Okay,
Can't
so...
believe Donst has supporters. Some brainwashed weirdos. This is awesome. You're a baby.
Okay, so next up is a 10-man tag team match. On one side, Eddie Kingston, Jigsaw, Green Ant, and Soldier Ant, and a late edition of Mike Quackenbush against the Gekido. I think I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. of that.
Gekido.
So, what did you think of this?
It's chaos.
It was a little bit, yeah.
10 men in the ring. So, I mean, for the most part, not for the most part, but like at times.
Yeah. And because of Chikara's rule set, so in Chikara, the rule... In normal wrestling, if you're doing a tag match, you have to physically tag your partner to go in the ring. Chikara has a rule that if you're thrown outside the ring, that counts as a tag. So it allows them to keep a much faster pace.
Interesting.
Which is something, again, that they took from, like, Mexican pro wrestling.
I randomly noted that the Gakido tattoos that they have on their wrist, it just means rage in Japanese.
Very good.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yep.
And I didn't understand really the point of this whole match, honestly. It just seemed like just, I didn't really get it if it wasn't for any kind of, like, title or anything.
Okay, yeah. So what did you think of Jigsaw's mask? These are the little puzzle pieces. It's a great mask.
I didn't really take too much note on that one, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Could this be the Mega Antipult? I don't know what an Antipult is.
Okay. So, in Chikara, they had a stable called the Colony, which was Green Ant, Soldier Ant, and Red Ant.
Oh, the Ant. Okay, Ant.
There you go.
I mean, I did write this down, and then trying to remember what Mega Antipult was. I was like, oh, Ant.
It's a pun.
It is a pun.
It's a bad pun.
It is a bad pun.
So, in this match, you got to see Mike Quackenbush. Does that name ring any bells?
No.
Okay. So, Mike Quackenbush is the owner of Chikara.
Okay.
And fairly well-known indie wrestler. Been around for, like 20-some years.
Alright.
Yeah. So, let's go to the main event.
Sure.
Why don't you tell us what the main event was?
Young Bucks versus Fist.
Yes.
I noticed that the Young Bucks have some fancy lacy pants and boots.
They have great ring gear.
I didn't really note Fist, though.
Fist is comprised of Chuck Taylor and Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
I know, that doesn't mean anything to you.
No, it does not.
So, do you remember any of the stipulations or anything for this match?
Not really.
Okay, so this was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Oh, yeah, right, that was
the Chikara... I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Campeonejos de Parejos? It's their tag titles.
Right.
And all championship matches in Chikara are 2 out of 3 falls. Again, something that they've, I believe, taken from Mexican pro wrestling.
Interesting.
So what did you think of this?
It was an alright match. Fist does a dance after knocking down a Young Buck.
Okay.
I don't know, that's a note I had, because I guess they just started dancing after knocking...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
And throwing them around.
That usually happens, yes.
Yeah. Oh, and just, I love the random audience member. My mom loves you, Gargano! I'm like, did I hear that right? It's like, yep.
So, what did you think of the Young Bucks?
I don't know, I like their fancy pants. It's about all I remember about them.
Okay, do you remember what they were going to do if they won the tag titles?
No.
Okay. They specifically said in their promo beforehand that they were going to take them to a real company, like Ring of Honor, where they would be on television, not
just some,
internet pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So, overall, we've gone through Chikarasaurus Rex, How to Hatch a Dinosaur.
Yeah.
And you failed to learn how to hatch a dinosaur.
My favorite match was the Hollow Wicked versus Tim Donst.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured.
And for the most part, despite like how some things were staged and how obvious it was, the coordination I thought was like, of all the teams, was the highlight in this sort of thing. I guess the audience's chants were also kind of entertaining too.
Yeah.
Just
that's definitely a part of Chikara.
That was
Especially when they start chanting
thing.
holy poop.
Holy poop. Yeah, because this is a family-friendly event
It
or
is.
something.
Chikara is PG, and they have legitimately kicked people out for swearing, and they
That's
have
ridiculous.
refused to bring in wrestlers who have sworn in the ring. That their whole thing is that it's family friendly.
That always kind of bothers me with wrestling, how this, okay, it's family-friendly? It doesn't make much sense to me, but it's a
But I
thing.
mean, it's so cartoony and over the top. It's
Yeah.
it's how's it any different than G.I. Joe?
I guess, other than it's live actors and cartoons.
Yeah, but they're all playing like crazy. Like, if you animated this, you could have easily put it on Saturday mornings in the 90s. So overall, what did you think of Chikarasaurus Rex, How to Hatch a Dinosaur?
It was entertaining, I guess. I mean, with me, I can't just watch. I can't just binge watch through the 2.5 hour period that I had to watch this, and I just couldn't just sit there and watch it all like that. I can do that
Amateur.
for Full Metal Alchemist, but I can't do it for this.
Okay, so what did you think of Chikara? Is it something you'd be interested to see more of, or...
It's an interesting kind of venue, indie wrestling kind of gig, I guess. It has its quirks, it seems.
It definitely does. Is there anybody on the show that you wanted to see more of?
Probably Hollow Wicked, but I don't know if they actually come back up or whatever.
Oh yeah, Hollow Wicked's been there for
Okay.
a long time.
I see.
Anybody else?
I don't know if Ophidian was too much of it or something.
Ophidian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in Chikara for
Okay.
a long time as well. A lot of the people on the show are basically Chikara people.
Yeah.
There's a few that have worked like other indies, but most of them, they're primarily just Chikara people.
Probably the throwbacks.
Kind of figured.
Yeah, they were entertaining
They are.
to listen to and just to watch, I guess.
Fair enough. So overall, what did you think of the show?
It was okay.
It was okay? Alrighty.
That's the best I can give it, really.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So you had me watch...
Full Metal Alchemist.
Alrighty, so Full Metal Alchemist. I watched the first 4 episodes, and I'm going to try to remember what happened in them.
Don't worry, I have notes just in case.
Okay, good.
Because I decided to watch through it myself anyway. Actually, I watched through the first 7 episodes because I like the 7th episode.
Okay, I'm going to try to explain what happens in the first 4 episodes,
Sure.
but chime in if I miss anything.
For the most part, the first 3 are the most important out of all of these.
Okay. So, there are these 2 brothers, Edward and Alphonse.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You got the main characters down.
Cha-ching. That might be as far as I get.
I don't know.
So, we start off in a flashback where they're performing alchemy.
Yes, particular alchemy.
Okay. And they do something immediately that made me mad.
They... What? Do you mean they cut flash forward,
No. The minute he says, this is alchemy, it's science, not magic, I'm like,
Oh.
bullshit.
Well, in this universe, you have to kind of accept that as a fact.
I mean, I appreciate the idea of you, if you, let's say you take lead and you turn it into gold, you have, there's a formula, you have to follow certain rules. I appreciate that, but...
And a certain, rune, apparently, and then it flashes and does things.
It's also kind of nonsense.
Yes, it is. For sure.
Okay.
But it's basically what this universe is kind of built up around.
Yeah. So, they fail, and Al disappears and ends up in some, armor thing?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's this, giant suit of armor.
Yep, it is a suit of armor.
And Ed loses an arm and a leg?
Yep.
Okay.
His right arm and his left leg.
Okay. And then we see them walking through the desert. Well, we don't see Al.
Yeah, apparently he was kind of in
He's
the
too
sand.
heavy. And Ed kind of passes out, but they eventually get to town, and then Ed runs to get a drink of water, and then it's all like weird or something. It's like red or something when he picks it up in his hand.
I guess it's probably like wine or something.
Oh yeah, right. It's wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they end up at a stall, and they kind of learn about this this father figure that basically built this town.
Well, he like brought it back from the verge of death, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
Now
The
they're all
sun
like
god.
they have all this food and everything's going really good, and he claims to have this thing called the Philosopher's Stone, which is how he's able to like do his magic stuff.
Yep. And the villagers are kind of unaware of alchemy
Yeah.
and just see it as these things as miracles.
Yeah. And we find out that Ed is nicknamed the Full Metal Alchemist.
Not Alphonse, even though he's larger.
Yeah, and metal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not confusing at all.
There is a reason, I guess.
I'm sure there is.
I mean, they kind of give him the code name. You would find out later when he's actually brought into, like, when he actually... It does a flashback showing, like, his build-up to becoming a state alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Like, within, like, the episodes that you missed, basically.
Okay, so we find out that they were doing this alchemy where there was one, like, got disappeared. He's not dead, but he disappeared, like, Al. And
Yeah.
then Ed lost an arm and a leg because they were trying to revive their mother.
Yeah, this was episode 3.
I don't remember really.
Episode 1 and 2 were basically parts 1 and 2 of, like...
Yeah, okay, and then they defeat the evil father dude and...
Yeah, and then he gets eaten up by Gluttony. Which is the
Okay.
big monster guy that
Yeah.
likes to eat things.
Yeah, okay. So they're being recruited, or Ed's being recruited by the state to become an alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the old lady doesn't want him to become an alchemist because reasons...
There are actual reasons. Like, their family, Winry's parents were, they were taken in to do, like, they died in the war.
Yeah, and they don't really explain any of this, at least not yet.
Well, they do explain a little bit.
Yeah, they
Like-
they hint at things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... where else? What else?
Like, it did say Winry's parents were killed in the war, and Ed's mom falls severely ill and succumbs to her illness.
Yeah.
But that's basically, since they were learning alchemy, they decided want to try the taboo alchemy to bring back their mother from the dead.
Oh, yeah, and then in episode 4, they hear of this other alchemist with some weird name.
This is a filler episode. This is my note.
And then there's all, like, these zombies or something going on, or... There's, like, this zombie, like, I don't remember how to
Michelle is
explain.
a madman who was obsessed with bringing back his dead wife. Meanwhile, his wife isn't actually dead and doesn't acknowledge her. And he ends up getting killed by his own sword.
Yeah, but, like, isn't she, like... She's brought back from the dead, so she's, like, a zombie, right?
He's making, like, puppet people, basically, what he's doing.
I called them zombies.
They were puppets.
They were zombies. Yeah, so... I probably missed a bunch of stuff trying to explain that, and I'm sure there are a bunch of people, like, screaming at their laptops. Like, you're an idiot, you
No,
forgot.
I don't think you missed too much terribly. Like, with Cornello, he was obviously evil of sorts, but he did bring back that town to
Yeah,
a
he's-
certain state. If Ed and Al didn't intervene in some sort of capacity, I think they would have been fine. But you know, Ed and Al's or mostly Ed's obsession with trying to obtain the Philosopher's Stone kind of drove him to try and obtain it himself because he realized the corruption of this.
Yeah, like, the dude, he's not evil, but he's not good.
Yeah, exactly. He's corrupt, but
Yeah.
he had his intentions to kind
Yeah.
of
He has, like, a justification for what he does.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a borderline evil, not really evil.
Yeah. Yeah, you could make an argument either way with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I watched these 4 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched them all back to back, which was probably a mistake.
Oh, I don't know about being a mistake. I watched the first 7 episodes binge watched because
Yes, but much in the same way that you have a hard time sitting through
Yeah.
2.5 hours of wrestling,
you have difficulty watching through like 4 episodes of anime.
I was getting nauseous.
I get nauseous watching wrestling.
You goddamn gimmick thief.
No, seriously.
But I will give it wasn't that bad. I liked parts of it.
Yeah. Back in 2003, or when this actually aired in Canada,
I think like 2004 it started in North
roughly,
America.
like around that time period, I was actually obsessed with this anime when it came out, when it was watched like on TV, and like I really enjoyed this series back then.
I can see why.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm like, is it's 51 episodes.
That doesn't bother me.
It's 51 episodes to tell a story that to me seems like it should take about 13.
To be fair, no, there's actually a lot more going on in this series, actually. Because there's,
Okay.
like, government conspiracy as well as their journey to try and obtain this Philosopher's Stone and whatnot.
Okay.
However, this was also before the manga for this finished. So
Yeah,
they
I
had their
read-
own, like, ending for the 2003 series.
Yeah, I read that on the Wikipedia article I read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is basically the whole reason why there's another anime, Full Alchemist Brotherhood, which follows the manga. But, I mean, they both have their own, like, pros and cons. I like what happens, like, in the first, like, few episodes of the 2003 series. Like, it spends a lot of time, like, introducing the characters and making you feel a bit more for them. So, like, episode 6 is when Nina is introduced and Tucker, and it doesn't really show anything going on with these characters, like anything bad. You kind of learn a little pieces of information here and there, but not much. But episode 7, it shows them a bit more and has a bit more of a focus on them. That basically 6 was like when Ed was studying for becoming a state alchemist, where 7 was when he got his alchemist thing, his pocket watch, per se, to show that he's a state alchemist. And then he learns of the corruption of Tucker, where he turned his daughter into a talking chimera.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
You watched the movie.
I half watched it.
Yeah, but basically things kind of happened. And
I think I
it
fell
was-
asleep for about 45 minutes during it.
Probably. But it was interesting. It was actually one of the most saddest, probably the best episode in the entire series, really, because it just shows, like, it also introduces another villain who, apparently survived, this, war, but has, like, this arm that can just deconstruct things completely. And
Okay.
he deconstructed Nina on a wall. And it was not pretty.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this series gets a bit dark in some aspects, but I really enjoyed this series overall.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it enough, but I doubt I'd go out of my way to watch more.
Fair enough.
Did you have any last minute thoughts to add about the wrestling you watched?
Not really. Did you?
I could talk for hours about pro wrestling.
Of course you can.
Yes.
It's like how I can talk for hours about anime.
This is true. However, I think it's best we cut it here.
Indeed.
So, in conclusion, I liked Full Metal Alchemist. It's like I'd probably say from what I've seen, it's like a 6.5 out of 10.
Alright.
It's fine. What did you think of Chikara?
That's okay. I'd probably give it a passing 7.
Okay. So, in conclusion, I'm Paul.
And I'm Justin.